Hello everyone, welcome to Jets TV here on Jet Central. I'm back. This is my week 2 video. Gonna do my picks. Really quick, guys, please comment, rate, subscribe, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe. Like the video if you can. Again, comment, guys. Comment. I respond to all comments. As you can see, kind of traveling on the road right now, not in my bat cave, so it is what it is. But I'm definitely getting the video out to you guys. I've changed the format of my show a little bit for my picks. I'm not going to go through the whole schedule anymore and do like the picks for my entire week. I'm going to pick out 4 games, and then I'm always going to include the Jets game, which is going to make 5 games. So I'm going to pick out 4 games that I think are super interesting, games that I think are going to be very competitive, and then it's always going to be the Jets game. So again, it's only going to be 5 games from now on. Comment, guys. I'll definitely take suggestions for games. Honestly, if you guys want to see me preview a game for the 3rd week, see where my brain is on these games, go ahead and comment. Say, hey, I want to see, these are the 4 games I want to see. And I'll tally it up. And if that's what you guys want to see, then I'll, review those games and give you who I think is going to win. But again, the Jets game is always going to be one of the games, and then we're going to have 4, other games from other teams. I just felt like the show is just getting too long. And, people will comment saying, oh, well, I love it, but my team is all the way at the end of the video, or, whatever, and it's just too long. So I'm going to try this format. So comment on that as well. Let me know what you guys think. First game I'm going to start with here. I am going to start with the Ravens at Eagles. Okay. Michael Vick is coming off of just a terrible performance against the Browns. He had 4 picks. He makes bad decisions when you rush him. Out the gate, I think the Ravens defense is going to dominate this game. The Eagles are not balanced whatsoever at all. All they do is throw the ball. They don't run the ball. That is a bad idea against these Baltimore Ravens. Ed Reed is still creeping around back there. People try to say he's an old man. I don't see it. The man is still putting up numbers and doing what he needs to do. Ray Lewis is still back there. He's lost 20 pounds. He's still looking good. Still looking like an excellent player in this league at backer. And I just don't think what the Eagles do well is going to put them in a position to win. I think the Ravens on offense really is going to give the Eagles fits. We all know the Eagles as a whole, they're talented. They have corners, they have Trent Cole, and that's all well and great, but they're so light on defense that you can just run all over them. And that's what the Ravens do very well, actually. They have a decent offensive line. Ray Rice, we all know he's a beast as a running back. And you know what? Joe Flacco is even looking pretty good this year. I know it's only been 1 week, but, that's the best I've ever seen Joe Flacco honestly look. I think the Ravens take this one. Even though it's at Philly, I still pick the Ravens over the Eagles. The only way I feel like the Eagles can really beat the Baltimore Ravens is if, Michael Vick comes out and just has a big game and doesn't throw any interceptions. But I can't see that happening because I feel like the Ravens are going to rush him into making a lot of decisions. They're going to get after him. And every time you make Michael Vick make quick decisions where he has to, he makes a bad decision every time he throws picks. I mean, he gave 4 away to the Browns. So I got the Ravens over the Eagles. Second game I want to talk about, Lions at 49ers. This is a very interesting game. But again, to me, it's like the Lions are not balanced at all. Again this year, it's still Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson and whoever else he can throw the ball to with no running game. Pettigrew and no running game. Just no running game. And they're not balanced again. The Niners are a very balanced team. They run the ball well. Alex Smith is decent, can throw the ball decent. They got Randy Moss, who, may not be, he's not like the best receiver in the league anymore, but he's still an extremely, dangerous deep threat. So people, give him 5 or 10 yards off the line. So, anything underneath you're pretty much going to get. And that's pretty much Alex Smith's kind of bread and butter. He can throw a 10-yard out or whatever. That's a first down. So a lot of times when they bring Randy out there, they're getting a ton of stuff underneath because they're the defense is going to dedicate a corner and a safety to Randy, and they're going to play 10 yards off the line because they don't want to get beat deep. So, I look at the Lions and I see a team that is pretty much, I don't even know if they've gotten better necessarily, because I see a team that looks exactly the same as they did last year on offense. They don't run the ball. They just throw all day. But then on defense, it's like, okay, you got a great front four. You know, we all know Neonda Sue and the names, and that's all well and great, but that secondary is horrible. That secondary is god-awful. So you telling me the Niners, you know, with all the offensive weapons that they have coming in, you know, Vernon Davis and Frank Gore and Randy on the outside and Crabtree, and who in the world is going to stop them? Like, I don't see it. So I'm going to have to give this game to the Niners. It's in San Francisco. I think they run the ball well against the Lions. You know, I know Matt Stafford is going to throw the ball a lot. It could turn into a score out, but I cannot see it because the Niners defense is playing so well. They're going to get after Stafford. That offensive line of the Lions isn't all that great either. So I'm giving it to the Niners. Third game I want to talk about is Broncos at Falcons. You know, I think the Broncos are excellent. I think Peyton Manning, clearly he gives that team just a new look and a new face. I think that he's done a world of wonders for the Broncos, you know, just as far as, you know, their offensive line doesn't have to be as great because he can get the ball out. And Demaryius Thomas, he's raving about playing with Peyton Manning and all just the leadership skills he brings as well. So Peyton Manning has definitely done, again, a world of wonder for the Broncos. But I cannot see them beating the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. You know, you got Julio Jones, you got White, you got Roddy White, you got Tony Gonzalez, you know, Matt Ryan. I mean, the Falcons are coming in, you know, to this game. They are loaded on offense. And I don't think that too many teams are going to be able to stop them. I think the Broncos defense is decent. Champ Bailey is decent. But without a safety back there, I have no clue who's going to stop Julio Jones. I think the Falcons defense is going to be able to slow the Broncos down a bit. You know, maybe, you know, really kind of not have Peyton be so on third downs. He may not be able to complete a lot of third downs in this game, and I think that's kind of the difference. I don't think the Falcons are going to blow them out, but I definitely think they'll beat the Broncos. So I'm taking the Falcons over the Broncos, but I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be a very tight game. The fourth game I want to talk about is Saints at Panthers. This is my upset of the week. I am taking the Panthers over the Saints. I look at the Saints and I see a team that is kind of in disarray a little bit. I know that they've gotten a lot of those suspensions reversed, and that's all well and dandy. Well, actually, the suspensions are kind of still up in the air. But as for now, they're, you know, the players that were suspended, Vilma and the other guys, they're not suspended as of right now. But I look at the Saints and I see a team that is kind of, to me, is a little weaker at receiver. One of their receivers had ended up leaving and going to San Diego. And I see Drew Brees as a guy that kind of, if you knock him off a target this year, he's not as accurate. I saw him throw some picks in that game against the Washington Redskins where it was like, what? You know, where are you throwing that ball? I also think on defense, them losing Tracy Porter, and he's not the greatest corner in the world. I never have thought that Tracy was the greatest corner in the world, but I do think for that team, he was their number one best corner. And with them losing him and him actually going to Denver, I think that defense, you can definitely throw on them. So I'm looking at it like Cam Newton's coming in with Steve Smith, those tight end setups that they use, and, you know, Stewart at running back. And they may be actually able to run the ball on the Saints effectively. And I think offensively that Cam is going to be able to move. He might even start moving outside the pocket and getting things done. And I know the Panthers are hungry. The Saints are hungry. They're both 0-1, but I'm giving it to the Panthers. I think the Saints are still in disarray, especially with Sean Payton not being on that sideline. I know people are saying it doesn't matter. You still got Drew Brees out there. Yeah, but Sean Payton is a top-of-the-line coach in the NFL. It does matter when you don't have him on the sideline. So, again, I'm taking the Panthers over the Saints. Now, getting to the game of all games, the Jets versus the Steelers. We are playing in Pittsburgh for this one. Man. Okay, getting it out the way. Injuries. Revis is not playing. Keller is not playing. And Brian Thomas is not playing for us. Okay. On the flip side, the Steelers, James Harrison, and Troy Polamalu may be out. They're questionable. They may be out. This is going to be a rough game for us. It's going to be rough. Okay. But this is what I've been kind of wanting to see I want to see it later on in the season, not so early, but I kind of want to see what the Jets will look like when not everything is going our way. What is it going to look like when we struggle and have guys go down? Who steps up? That's what makes great teams, is when, one guy goes down, you can get another guy in there. He may not be as good, but he'll do the job effectively and you can get wins. I think this has got to be Cromartie's coming out party. He has got to step up. Okay, Revis is gone. Cromartie cannot cover Brown. I don't think he's going to be able to cover Brown or the other receiver that the Steelers have. But he better lock down Mike Wallace, and he better keep Mike Wallace under control, because Mike Wallace is the speedster. Cromartie is our speedster cornerback. He's the guy that's going to cover you when you get long and rangy, and he needs to make sure that Mike Wallace does not make any big catches in this game. Kyle Wilson is going to have to cover Brown. That's going to be a big matchup, because I know for a fact the Steelers are going to target Kyle Wilson all night long. Kyle's got to step it up. He was drafted in the first round. He had, a pick last game. He's got to step it up and be the first round pick that we drafted him to be, and step into the starting lineup and do what he needs to do. Bottom line, because he's going to get targeted all night long. We know Leron's going to be back there. We know Jeremiah Bell's going to be back there. Our defense as a whole has to get pressure on Ben. And when we get pressure, we must finish tackles. You cannot let Ben Roethlisberger walk through your tackles, because he will. He's a big guy. If you don't drive through him and put him on his back, he will walk straight through your tackles every single time. We've all seen him do it for years. That's what he does. He runs around. People try to tackle him. He walks right through it because they try to arm tackle him or hit him like he's Eli Manning. He's not soft, and he's not Eli Manning. He's not just going to go down when you touch him. That's not what's happening. So we've got to make sure we keep Ben in check and don't let him make crazy plays with his feet. I think offensively, Mark cannot have any early interceptions, because if you go down if you throw early interceptions and get down by 14 against the Steelers, you'll never see a lead again in that game. You will not win a game if the Steelers are up by 21. They're too disciplined. They play too much hard-nosed football. They know how to run the ball too well to drain the clock for you to come back. We must be stout on offense. We don't have to make huge plays. We don't have to score a gang of points, because I think this is going to be a very low scoring game. But we can't make big mistakes either. Santonio Holmes has got to step up. Stephen Hill's got to step up, and Curley's got to step up again. We've got to continue to keep it rolling, because we don't have Dustin Keller in this game. Cumberland's got to step up as well, coming in as that backup tight end. We need to do what we need to do, and we have to play solid against the Steelers, because when you make mistakes against the Steelers, they will make you pay. I think, again, the big keys for us in this game, defense, we have to stop the run game. We have to slow their run game down. We cannot give 195 yards up to the Steelers like we did to the Bills. We give 195 yards up to the Steelers, we're coming out here with a loss for a fact. It's not no question. You give up 195 yards to the Steelers, they're going to get more than 195 yards. If we give up 195 yards, they're going to get 195 yards plus. But if we give up 195 to the Steelers, game over, we're going to lose. We have to be stout on that run. Our guys up front have to hold that line. On defense, we cannot let Ben run around and just do whatever he wants to do. We have to get in his face, drive through tackles, and when he makes mistakes and does throw those interceptions, we must catch him and we must make him pay. We must make him pay. We must score, and we must slow the run game down. Those are all my points for this game. With that said, with our injuries and everything, and I know people are going to get on me, but again, everybody knows my channel was unbiased. I have to go with the Steelers in this game. I just think our injury is going to be too much for us to overcome, especially with Revis and Keller being out. I want to see us step up, and I want to see us do well, but again, being unbiased, if you look at it on paper, hey, it is what it is, and I think the Steelers are going to take it. I'll be watching as well. Everyone knows I love the Jets. Go Jets, go Jets. Guys, please comment, rate, subscribe, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the video. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Wait for my recap, guys. Have a good day.